October 4th. So yesterday I made this post because I'm reading the book about Elon Musk. And he had such a great quote that actually I've been just going over it and over it all day today. And basically it was saying like that you need great ideas to fuel the action, to get the stuff done that will make those great ideas happen, right? So it basically never chase after, don't have to chase after money, but chase after that like massive purpose, and whatever that purpose is, like how can I make this happen, and and kind of go after it. Like this has to happen. Like there's no other option. I it was just like going over it. I was reading scripture on like the purpose that God has for you, the plans He laid out for you. The purpose will happen. You know, God will work through you, and so I'm like, okay, all right. Um, purpose is massively important. I think it's something that we've been given, and people have this like wide range of things that they're attracted to, and I think that's on purpose. I think that's God's purpose, that we have people that are so that feel so much for humanity, people that feel so much for animals, feel so much for technology. Like I think that those are God-given purposes, like natural instincts, I'm going to call them. And like, are they influenced by things around us? Yes, but I believe that they are fueled by a God source. So I was just thinking about my own life and like, okay, what is it? And this is what I actually wrote this all out. I'm like, but like, what is it that I feel massively passionate about? Like, what gets me excited? What drives me more than anything? And I even wrote down the question, which is, again, from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. That's actually a phenomenal book. I've mentioned it several times. If you haven't read it, you got to read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But he was talking about beginning with the end in mind. I believe it was this chapter where he was like, visualize yourself at your funeral, okay? And one by one, people are coming up and they are talking about you. What do you want them to say? And that was a probably a bad summary of that, but you get my drift. If you start with like at the end, what would, if I look back, what would I want to have accomplished? What do I want people to say about me? What's the legacy I want to leave? Okay, these are like super important driving factors that so often we just get caught up in the minutia of life. We just turning the gears. We just keep going, but there are a few people who like grab hold of a purpose and like a mad dog hold on to that thing, and do everything in their power to make that happen. Sorry, I got so when I this is my reflection on my stuff. A few years back, I was probably in one of the best headspaces I ever was. And what I was doing was I had this deep dive into personal development, a lot of Tony Robbins stuff. And I was actually I had this drive to become a public speaker, motivational speaker, go out there and speak on this. And I was a little conflicted because that was like the only thing I had to that I had to speak about. And I didn't want to just go out there and be a motivational speaker. I just didn't feel that had the power that it was. That's not where I was feeling I was supposed to be doing. But in that journey of learning how to be a motivational speaker, doing this deep dive into this personal development stuff, focusing on the words, focusing on the mind, I was at probably like the happiest that I've ever been. I remember I was going to my classroom at school and I would talk to kids about, the goals and being driven and taking action plans and attitudes and stuff like that. And it was really good. And a lot of those students came back years later and said like, oh, I really appreciate when you did this lesson. And it had nothing to do with ASL. And so that was very impactful. And that's what really started I'm like, oh yeah, that's so good. And I had a couple like pivots in my life that swayed me away from that. But as I was writing my stuff down today, one of the big reoccurring like themes was I want to help people, but I want to help people in the way, like in what way? There's so many ways to help people, but one of the ways that I wanted to help people is in that personal development space. I just feel that that is so important. But the other one that I feel is so important because it's plagued me most of my life. I don't want to say plagued, but it's been a challenge my whole life. And I believe it challenges almost everybody, is the financial, being leading a financial prosperous life. And this is where I think that like God has positioned me and gave me experiences that then helps bring that purpose out of me. So one of the areas, the group of people that I am like most drawn to, that I feel like I would love to be working with the most, is young people. Just like right at the senior year of high school to just out of high school, college age, right in that group. So again, I'm kind of like, this is my journal, so I'm kind of throwing this out there. I'm like, this is what I'm thinking about. It's like that target group, right? Working like, and when I was thinking like, okay, I'm learning my business, I'm learning internet marketing, I'm learning how to take a product from obscurity to, successful, okay, to making it big. If I'm doing that, if I learn how to do that and I learn how to do it well, and I can create a system that replicates, then I can bring in young people and kind of walk them through this type of a system. And being that I already achieved a level of success, I can now transfer that knowledge and wisdom and be a mentor to new people. And that is where I'm like, oh, that would be so great. Like it would have been so wonderful if I had someone who came along and was able to direct me and show me the way and be like, and actually give me some concrete, like actual steps, technical steps, not just be like, hey, you just got to work harder. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm even going to do. I don't even know what to do. Like I'm so out there. Some people, they got it dialed in, they know. But there are so many people that like have this drive to work and to do good, and they don't know how, and they need some guidance. Anyway, it's not fully formed idea. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing there. But what I am leaning towards, what I'm seeing is like my sign language program is my my testing ground to really develop this system to make this like business and make it profitable. And taking it from something like online to one of the areas that I love is like, and again, working with the youth and saying like, hey, you are not college material. You don't want to go to college. You're not going to go to college. You're not a book study person, but you love working. You're a hard worker. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You want to learn something. And so these kids who want to learn a trade and build a business out of it, me helping them say, okay, you got that trade skill. I'm gonna give you the business system that'll actually turn that into a successful business. That's what I've been toying with actually for a while now. But as I was really settling down and focusing and thinking about it, I'm like, okay. And then I guess part 2 of that is like, okay, if that's my goal, if I was envisioning myself in 5, 10, 15 years from now, have led several young people into growing successful businesses, something from nothing, or maybe they purchased businesses or whatever it is. If I was to be that person, okay, what would I have need to get done now, or what do I need to have happen in between there, and also, how would I behave and act? Right? If I was that person, how would I behave and act? Because the behavior and the actions I can model now. So that's one thing. But if I'm looking back from that perspective and saying, hey, what steps do I need to have done to make it there? That's actually quite powerful, right? I mean, what steps do I need to get done? Am I focusing on the right things? And so with that being said, I'm really going to focus on my next several journal entries here, my next video journal entries, to be a little bit more on the technical side. I want to kind of start creating this system. So I'm going to start speaking through and talking about the stuff that I'm learning in a technical aspect and working this out, and we'll see how it goes. Man, I'm excited.